welcome back to part 2 of the Rising event. So now, we shall continue right where we left off. Well met, I am Lieutenant Cyril Fulk of the Order of the Twin Iron. Nananji no Nanji at your service. Thank you for sparing the time to speak with us. Think nothing of it. I must say, though, that Lieutenant Aubrey chose the perfect spot for the subject matter. Louisoix spent much time in rumination here in the days before the calamity. With Gridanians being somewhat reserved by nature, at first the citizens kept their distance. In time, people warmed to him. He patiently lent an ear to their troubles, healing hurts and offering counsel, and gradually earned their trust. To ignore the plight of those one must conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Louisoix spoke those words. I lived up to them. He is the epitome of a Charlian sage, and I recall myself being moved. Now, shortly after we had become aware of the meteor quarry mill was attacked by the primal Garuda, both soldiers and civilians were among the casualties. The Order of the Twin Adder moved to vanquish the Primal, but we were not alone. Through Louisoix's meditation, we had the support of not only our sister Grand Companies, but capable adventurers the realm over besides. Using an artifact known as the Vortex Feather, the Archon opened the way for a band of adventurers to sally forth into Garuda's turbulent domain, where they felled the fearsome beast. Upon her defeat, however, Primal's dispersed ether did not return to the land. Instead, it was absorbed into the Red Moon Dalamud. And when the Empire constructed a new base in Mordona, the Elder Seaseers saw the need for decisive action and put forth a proposal, the formal reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, which had for so long lain dormant. The initial response from the other nations was lukewarm at best. They felt that the burden to be borne by each party was excessive, and they were loath to do aught that would place them at a disadvantage against their rivals. But the revelation that a lunar transmitter had been erected in the Imperial base prompted a change of heart. The tower controlled Dalamud's descent. If it could be destroyed, then the meteor project would be forestalled. After having constantly been on the back foot, our nations were motivated to join hands, that we might strike a decisive blow against the enemy. Thus was the Eorzean alliance reformed, as the Circle of Knowing had hoped. At the same juncture, Louisoix was asked to join the alliance as a tactician, and in that capacity he provided sage counsel to our heads of state. So, although he was at first treated with wariness, Louisoix earned our trust through his actions, and paved the way to enduring cooperation between our nations. Indeed, were it not for him, we would all have perished divided. We owe Louisoix a great debt. Now then, I expect you might be interested in hearing about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. Well, for that tale, I would recommend you seek out another, a decorated soldier who actually took part in the operation. Although a hardened warrior, she is quite friendly, and should be glad to regale you with her experiences. Shall I send her word on your behalf? We'd be duly grateful. Very well. If you can take yourselves to Maelstrom Command and Limsa Lamensa, I shall see to it that she knows to expect you. With that, I shall take the leave. I pray that the biography is a success. Got me going all over the world, huh? Everyone has been more helpful than I dared to hope. It seems Louisoix had quite an influence on others. That interview gave us some valuable insights into his character, and I'm eager to see what we learn in the next. Come, let's head to Limsa Lamensa. And there it is. Mails from command. Shall we then? Yami, sore eyes, and you must be Nanaji. I have no idea how to pronounce your first name. At your service. I understand you wish to hear about the operations to destroy the lunar transmitter. Indeed, I'm penning a biography of the Archon Louis, you see, for which I'm interviewing people and dealing with them. I truly appreciate your time. You're very welcome. I'll be glad to assist even if it wasn't a request from Lieutenant Folk. Now then, to continue where he left off. It was shortly after the Eorzean Alliance was formed. Our scouts returned with word that the 7th Legion had activated the lunar transmitter in their fortress in Mordona. Now known as Castrum Sentry, the fortress was originally called Castrum Novum before the 14th restored and renamed it. It was in order to break through its destroyed transmitters at our 3, and we were determined to succeed. The strategy that Louis proposed was elegant in its simplicity. While our main force drew the Garland's attention with an all-out siege, an elite band of adventurers would infiltrate the castrum and make for our objective. We had entrusted adventurers with ridding us of the primals. Now we entrusted them with the very fate of Eorzea. Ah, good water, Jesus. I must hydrate! Hydration! I still remember the operation as if for work today. Though we fought more fiercely still, no matter the strike at the transmitter. Why does my head keep blinking? Stop that! And when the messenger arrived bearing word that they had succeeded, it still makes my heart soar to recall that moment of triumph. That day we learned that, by standing together, the people of Eorzea could oppose even the might of the Empire. 'Tis no exaggeration to say that the victory paved the way for Eorzea's future. Without it, there would not have been an Operation Archon. Alas, excuse me. It wasn't all glad tidings, for though we destroyed the transmitter, Nail von Darnus appeared and claimed that he no longer needed the device to bring down Dalamud, that he himself had the power to do so. So long as von Darnus lived, the threat of destruction remained, and so, branding him an enemy to all life in Eorzea, the nations of the Alliance undertook a desperate manhunt. At length they located him in Corthus, and sent their greatest warrior to hunt him down. Leading that formidable band was the adventurer whom they called the Warrior of Light. And though no records remain of the fierce encounter, one thing is certain: at battle's conclusion, Nail. There's nothing of that paper! As you know, however, our woes to White Raven, would continue to fall. The Circle of Knowing issued a request to the Eorzean Alliance to secure the Cartnose Flats, where the Red Moon was expected to crash. It was no simple task, for the entirety of the 7th Legion had amassed in Cartno. What is meant to order a ritual to stop Dalamud, a ritual that so it was that the Battle of Cartano was joined, and I dare say you know how the tale continues. To everyone's shock, Muhammad emerged from Dalamud and proceeded to unleash his fury upon. Aye, and though all bore witness as Louis initiated the ritual, none remember what came to pass afterwards, neither what happened to Bahamut, nor why the realm was reborn. The haze had afflicted memories of the calamity, but people remember events prior to that moment, yes. If so, do you know if anyone was near Louis during the battle? Someone who may have spoken with him? If someone was near him, I'm afraid I do not know. It was a talk arise for the ritual, while I was a good distance away along the front lines. My apologies. No, no, please don't apologize. You've shared a wealth of information, and I couldn't ask for more. Well, if you're satisfied, then so am I. With that, I shall return to my duties. I look forward to reading the biography when it's finished. Now I've grasped the events leading up to the calamity, and yet... Oh, forgive me, I was deep in thought. In no small part due to your help, I've managed to learn a great deal, but there is still more that I wish to know. Might I trouble you to accompany me a little longer? If you're willing, please let me know. You'll continue accompanying me then? Wonderful. Come, let's head to the Drowning Wench to discuss our next move. Our research proceeds apace so far. We even learned things not found in literature. But tell me, based on what you've heard from our interviewees, what is your opinion of Louis Soir? He's an exceptional leader. I agree. He possessed great leadership. If not, he couldn't have established a framework to realize his plan, no matter how brilliant they may have been. What struck me was how grateful the interviewees were to Louis Soir for bringing their nations together in cooperation. It was nothing short of necessary for our survival. Yet in knowing this, I can't help but wonder. In his capacity as a tactician, it seems to me he had done more than enough by devising a plan and facilitating its execution. He went far beyond that, risking life and limb on the front lines for a land not his own. Perhaps he needed to be there for the ritual, perhaps he felt a sense of duty. Even so, as noble as it is to desire to help others, what good is it if you end up sacrificing yourself? What was it that compelled Louisoix to go to Cartedel, and what went through his mind as the battle unfolded? In order to do his biography justice, I feel I need to know these things. If Louisoix had people near him at the time, perhaps he shared words with them in his final moments, words that could provide some insights. But where to begin searching for such individuals, assuming they exist? Sorry, friends, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. It just so happens I know a bloke has served among Louisoix's guard at Cartedel. Truly, you know someone who was with him? Aye, and far as I am aware, he wasn't keeping the fact a secret, just for good measure, though. Why do you want to speak with him? Louisoix's biography, eh? In that case, I reckon the bloke would be willing to cooperate. Orn Gwincums is his name, and he was a lieutenant of the Maelstrom. After Calamity, he turned to adventuring so as to be of greater help to the common folk. A Maelstrom officer turned adventurer. We'd be most keen to speak with him. Where might he be found? When Orn dropped in the other day, he said that he had business at the Morby dry docks. If you're lucky, might be he's still there. Understood. We're in your debt. We can't let this chance pass us by, Yami. Let's take ourselves to the dry docks at once. Right, where could Orn be? In hindsight, we should have asked what he looks like. His name would suggest he's a Midlander, but... Well, nothing for it but to make inquiries. Let's split up for the task and meet again here. I'm sorry, but I've only just started helping out here. I'm still learning our customers' names. I couldn't say if it's the person you're after, but a man did come by earlier who appeared to be an adventurer. He bought a Nemea lily that we're currently trialing. One, as it happens, I spoke with him just early. He said that he wanted to buy flowers, so I directed him to a vendor. Not sure where he is of now, though. Oh, there he is. Looking for an orange wingcum, you say? Don't know anyone by that name, I'm afraid. I did walk by an unfamiliar fellow just now, though, over by the mark of the spinner. He had a flower in his hand, so he caught my eye. You have an inkling as to where Orm might be. Time to rejoin the Naji. There you are, Yami. Were you able to learn anything? So a man who could be Orm brought in a Maya lily and went to the mark of the spinner. If you hurry there, you might be able to find them. Let's go! Oh my god, the music for the Phoenix is the prelude? Okay, safe to say this has become my favorite mount because I absolutely love that music. Oh, everything must stretch. Begging your pardon, sir, but are you Lieutenant Warren Greencomb? I have been a lieutenant for years, but that's me. What can I do for you? I realize this is sudden, but so you're writing Louis Swell's biography and want to hear my account as someone who was near on hand at Kosovo. There must be a reason that you're here, too. The warrior light who led us to victory in Operation Archon. Very well, I will tell you my tale. Now then, where to begin? As you know, the battle was fought over the land where Dalamud was expected to fall. In the beginning, neither side was able to gain the upper hand. When the Imperials deployed their Magitech armor, our ranks were thrown into disarray. Those charged with protecting Louisville, like me, could only watch the carnage from afar, and though our forces managed to hold out thanks to the adventurer, contingent, we sustained grievous casualties. But the real tragedy was what followed. As Dalamud hurtled towards us, it began shedding fragments of itself before finally bursting open to release the primal Bahamut. As all below looked on in shock, the battle completely forgotten, Bahamut took wing and spewed fire all over the land. Men in Magitech armor alike were set ablaze and set flying like so many other insects. I only realized that I had stopped breathing when a commanding voice broke my trance. "You've done enough," Louisoix told us. "Now fly! Fly and save yourselves!" But like my fellow guards, I wanted to remain. I couldn't charge the battle beside my comrades. At the very least, I would do my duty here and protect Louisoix to the last. But upon seeing us standing there, not making to move, Louisoix smiled and spoke thus: "If you give your lives to protect something, then protect my hopes. Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope, bright and brilliant. So live, I bid you, and be among those who bear the light for others to follow." Those words awakened us to a greater purpose. If there was hope in my living, then I would live as Louisoix bid. No matter what, I would survive. And so, together with my fellows, I began making my retreat. Alas, we hadn't gotten far when an explosion erupted and sent us sprawling. I struggled to my feet just in time to see the enormous menacing silhouette of Bahamut looming over Louisoix. In the next instant, he was enveloped in light, and that was the last I remember of him. Louisoix's final moment. Amidst that light, he looked to be smiling. What he was thinking in that moment, I couldn't say, but one thing is certain: we all of us are alive, thanks to him. Following the calamity, it was reported that Louisoix had defeated Bahamut and set about the land's miraculous regeneration. Do you believe this is the truth? Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. What we've learned has reaffirmed my belief, Yami. The belief that Louisoix was not an all-powerful savior one reads about in tales, but merely an ordinary man. But that man never forsook Eorzea. No, he stood for this realm to the last. He and countless other brave souls, and saved it from becoming a scorched waste. Against unimaginable adversity he fought, and at the cost of his life, paved the way to a brighter future for us all. The least I could do in return is tell his story, spread his message that where there is life, there is hope. Mm-hmm. Thanks to your account, I believe I've found an angle for their biography. I'm truly grateful. Would you care to offer a prayer as well? The prayer that the light of hope which Louisoix preserves shall ever burn bright. I mean to thank you again for recounting experiences to us. Nay, 'tis I who owes you thanks for giving me the chance to share Louisoix's words. All these years I had avoided speaking of the moment of his passing out of respect, would it not do to take the tale to my grave. Through the biography, it is my hope that his spirit will live on in all of us. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I shall resume my pilgrimage to the marks. Wherever your travels take you, I shall be praying for your safety. Nemea lilies, the symbol of safe passage. As Louisoix stood there in Cartano, I wonder if he likewise prayed for someone's safety. At any rate, these interviews have yielded everything I had hoped for, and more. Come, let's return to Ul'dah. I'll have your reward for you at Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. There you are. I ended up troubling you longer than I had intended, but it was a truly fruitful series of interviews. How fortunate we could hear from those who lived that fateful time. While I still have many questions, the biography is beginning to take shape in my mind. I also feel as though I've attained a measure of closure. Louis fought simply as one of us, and he made the ultimate sacrifice that hope might endure. This I've come to realize and appreciate thanks to everyone's heartfelt testimonies. Now then, last but not least, I'd like to ask you for your thoughts or something. According to Orn Louis smiled in his final moment. As he was enveloped in light, what do you imagine he held in his mind? The image of mankind thriving in the future. I see, I see. I appreciate your thoughts. As I pen the biography, I'll be certain to remember your words. Well, sad though it is, it's time for us to part ways. I'll set to work on a draft, and I won't rest until the biography goes to print. Thank you for all your help, my friend. I couldn't have come this far without you. Whew. And with that, I shall... Wait. Before I do anything else, let's look at the Framers kit. Ooh. I actually like that. I like that. Okay, I'll use that. Anywho, with that, I am officially going to end the video here. So, thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out Mother Droid's Twitch channel by clicking the link in the description below. So, for Achieve a Dream, being my cocktail video, consider you your supporting. And of course, don't forget to click that little bell button to push you notified whenever I upload a video or live stream to my channel. And most importantly, push the CLS right now. You can do so. Check out my playlist section. All my videos are there archived for your big entertainment. So you can watch Let's Plays like God of War, Batman Arkham Knight, Final Fantasy 16, and many, many more. Thank y'all for watching as I hosted my channel, Sing Along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!